Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your January shadow work for Sagittarius Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of January 2022. Before we get started, just a reminder that for my services, I am having a special that ends on January 1st. You can use the code 2022 for 22% off all of my services. If you're a Patreon member, then it would be 30% off, and you can find that code in my dashboard of the Patreon. Okay, so we're gonna get started on the shadow work for Sun, Moon, and Rising for Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to work on for the month of January 2022? Okay, month of January 2022, what's going on with Sagittarius? Okay, so bottom of the deck, Two of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, the Sun. Okay, Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, there's definitely a lot going on with you guys. You're getting the Judgment card coming up from the beginning. Sorry about that, Sagittarius. So you guys are getting the energy specifically for the beginning of the month is very much judgmental. I feel like you guys and Scorpio are in very similar positions right now. You guys are holding a lot of judgments for yourselves, but you're also, the ancestors are also reaching out and trying to work with you guys during this time as well. So definitely don't neglect your spiritual practice, because you guys know the Judgment card for me is also the card of the ancestors. There's definitely a situation where you feel like you can't really have a fresh start in, or feel like it's budging in the direction that you want to take, and there's definitely a lot of emotions about it. It feels like there's regret. It feels like there's like this stuck kind of energy, like as much as you would like to kind of work towards moving it in a different direction, you're not able to move it there. You have to remember that Venus is currently in retrograde in Capricorn, so there is like this kind of reflecting backwards that is happening when it comes to our relationships, our love, our work, our businesses, the government, everything that is going on collectively as well. So there is this little bit of reflection that you are being forced to do. You are being put in the position of really looking at how you have grown, especially from last year, and what it is that you want to move into this year that's coming up for you, like how you want to progress, where you want to put your intention, where you want to shoot your arrow at the end of the day. With the Judgment card there, it's really about being analytical, but also being fair. You have to really look at what it is that you intellectually have been processing, and how the way that you've been processing it has been keeping you stuck, or the way that others have been keeping themselves stuck. Like, actually find the root cause to the situation, find what it is that's been keeping the situation from working. Okay, what about the situation has just been causing so much turmoil, where you haven't been able to see your way out of the situation in a positive way, where you haven't been able to like see the light? Why are you stuck? Why are you still in this stuck energy? Why haven't you been able to budge out of this energy? And when do you want to kind of start shifting the energy around? And how do you plan on doing that? How do you plan on watering your future intentions, your emotional energy? How are you taking care of yourself during this time? Okay, I feel like you guys are definitely intuitively navigating a lot of information, especially when it comes to your dreams. You will be able to see how your subconscious is playing a role with how you're actually been actively processing it spiritually. If there's been anything that you've been trying to bury down, or you're just not trying to accept, you're not trying to see the truth, you don't want to hear it, or you're not trying to like make yourself vulnerable enough to like actually work through the emotional energies, you're going to be seeing a lot of the reflections happening in your dreams, especially now that Jupiter is in Pisces. And you being a mutable sign, you might be put in a situation where you are actively in a very watery state. In like, if you're avoiding your emotions like the plague, your dreams will be very, very active. You will be shown different things. You will be exposing yourself subconsciously. Your subconscious will expose itself with hints of what the truth is. And so through the month of January, the truth is the key. If you've been avoiding accepting what it is, it's ultimately, that's what's blocking your joy and your success. This is why the underlining is the sun. Okay, the underlining is the sun, the 8 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Swords. You're kind of being like an escape artist right now. Like you're avoiding the work that it is that you need to do, and that's causing a lot of conflict. Okay, that's causing a lot of conflict. It's causing you to not necessarily be in alignment with yourself, and it's also causing your intuitive and emotional energies to be a little bit more kind of chaotic and a little bit more out of the norm. Like you're not fully being yourself right now. You're not fully being like open to the possibilities as you usually would be. You're not necessarily, oh yeah, I would totally let's go on this adventure and let's see where this heads, because it feels very daunting, and it feels like, you know, oh, you have to tread carefully, or you might, you know, just step in the wrong direction. It feels like you're being very, very careful with your movements. It feels like you are actively trying to avoid a larger problem down the road, and it just seems like that kind of the reflection that you need to go on ultimately is going to put you back on track. But you can't avoid it anymore. You can't avoid your emotions. You can't avoid what's going on in your life. You can't avoid your relationships. You can't avoid your work. You just can't avoid what it is that you need to do. You can't just disappear. Like, it's almost like you guys are tapping into the energy of yourselves, where it's like escapist. Like, I just want to escape the situation. I don't want to address it in any type of way. It's just, this is the way I'm seeing it, and that's it. Like, I don't want to kind of address it any other way. I just want to leave. It's like you guys are tapping into that flightiness, but you can't leave right now. You can't, especially everything that's going on with, you know, the pandemic. You can't leave. Things are shutting down. Flights are off. You can't just escape. You have to confront yourself. You have to confront your emotional energy. You have to come to terms with how you're feeling, and like how it has been blocking your growth and the situation from actually going anywhere. Because it's almost like this has been placed. It has been deliberately just left there. Okay, we have move and adapt. Okay. Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to know for their shadow work? Resolve conflicts. Okay. Bottom of the deck is signs and visions. I'm telling you, your subconscious energies are going to be screaming at you for the month of January, because it's almost like you really want to avoid it. You really want to avoid it. You really want to leave, but you can't. You can't go anywhere before you solve this. This is why you're getting resolve conflicts. You can't just drop everything and then just escape. That's not how it's gonna work. Like, Spirit's not gonna let you get away with it that easily. Yes, you guys are the luckiest sign astrologically, but you're not gonna be able to escape the work that you need to do. You're not. So you might as well do what it is that you need to do, and address your emotions. Okay, address how you feel. Okay, address other people. Be honest. Resolve the past. It really comes down to you resolving the past. Sagittarius for January 2022, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What do they need to know for their shadow work? What is coming up for their shadow work? Okay. You guys said we want lots of messages, Abby. We want lots of messages. You have the full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. Okay, so there's definitely that essence of self-care that you definitely need to take on for this month. You have a personal issue reaches a resolution. Full moon in Cancer. You need this is why you can't avoid this, because it needs to be resolved. The situation needs to be resolved. You need to make it right. You need to make it work. You need to you need to resolve this. You really need to set yourself right, and you're not going to do this by escaping. That's just not how it's going to go. You have to resolve it. If you resolve it, if you put your energy in, okay, let me not run away. Let me just confront this. Let me just talk to this person. Let me just tell them how I feel. You will actually see a good conclusion coming out of this. Be bold and make the first move. The cardinal moon, okay? If you take it upon yourself to really say, you know what, I'm going to take it upon myself to just I'm gonna make the first move. I'm gonna make the first step. I'm just gonna tell the person how I'm feeling. I'm just gonna tell the person how this situation has made me feel. I'm just gonna tell the person, like, listen, this is where I'm at, or this is what I think about this, or this is what I was internalizing in my head, and I need you to like to be open and talk to me about this so we can work through this. You need to put your best foot forward, and you need to really be practicing self-care during this time, because all of this avoiding your emotional energy is creating conflict within yourself, and it's blocking that liberation that you could easily have, because it is part of your energy to be liberated, right? And so you need to focus on self-care this month. You need to make sure you are maintaining your fire, maintaining your flame. I'm like looking at the carnelian right here. You should be definitely get yourself a carnelian. Work through some of these sacral blockages that you're having for the month of January, because it feels like you need to tap into the fire in a way that is productive, in the way that is alignment with your spirit, because it's like you need to regain control. You need to take back control. You need to take back the narrative. And right now, Mars is in Sagittarius. Mars is in your sign. So you are literally the one. You are literally it's time. It's for you to create that action, but you have to be bold. You have to make that first move. You have to be tactical. You have to know what you're gonna say. You have to know why you need to say what you need to say. You know, it has to have meaning. It has to be purposeful. You can't just, you know, say things just to say things, or say things just to be petty. It's like right now, your words hold a lot of power, holds a big punch, and you're creating the action. So how are you going to navigate it? Okay, definitely connect with your ancestors, connect with your guides, make sure that you are working with your spirits to help you alleviate any tension and diffuse any tensions with the situation, so that way you can come out of it a little bit more, you know, at peace with yourself. But you still have to do the work. It really comes down to that. You still have to do the work. What the Sagittarius need to know for the month of January? You have coming to life. Okay, coming to life, because there is that essence of taking control. Mars is gonna have you making the shifts that you really need. You really needed to make. Okay, you really needed to make. You're gonna, the first part of the month, you're definitely gonna be focusing on, you know, thinking about what it is that you want to say, how you want to say it, why you need to say it the way you're saying it. The bottom of the deck for this is literally education, okay, which is literally your energy. So there is that energy of wanting to be clear on what you're saying, wanting to portray yourself, or express yourself in a way that is in alignment with who you are, that is not necessarily, you know, it doesn't feel like it's coming out of left field, but it's more like, you know what, I need to approach this in a way that makes sense. I need to address this in a way that actually, you know, it's me. Like, I know that I'm being myself. I know I'm in my power, because I know that I am addressing it in a way that it's natural to me, and it's who I am. This is who I am. I'm not gonna run away from the situation. I'm not gonna run away from my circumstance. I'm not gonna run away from doing what I need to do to set this right. And this really comes down to that. Set this right. Be bold. Make the first move. Okay. That Mars in Sagittarius is gonna make it so you're a little saucy. Okay, you're a little saucy. You want to be a little flighty, but it's like there, in certain situations, you're not gonna be able to run the way you want to run, because you have unfinished business. Okay, you have unfinished business, and you need to resolve these conflicts. Period. Okay, what mudra should Sagittarius be using for the month of January for their shadow work? What mudra should Sagittarius be using? Sun, Moon, and Rising for their shadow work. What mudra should Sagittarius be using? Sun, Moon, and Rising for their shadow work. What mudra should Sagittarius? Okay. So you guys got 2 mudras, because y'all want to be extra. So you guys have welcoming thoughts and feelings. And it says, allowing thoughts and feelings to rise and pass away freely removes obstacles along my journey. Okay, that's beautiful. And then you have purifying current of energy. Okay, and it says, the downward current of energy purifies my body and mind completely. So there is like a cleansing. I feel like you guys do need a cleansing this month. This is the back of each card for those who are going to want to pause and read, or take a screenshot, so that way you know what is helpful for in the instructions as well. But these are the mudras that you're going to want to be using in your meditation, so that way, you know, you are adding and bringing in and welcoming in energy healing into your meditation, so you could break through some of these walls and some of these frustrations that you are experiencing in your life during this time, so that you can actually heal and grow and get back to center, get back to you, get back to being grounded, and just release. Okay, release the blockages that you have placed there for yourself. Be bold, make the first move, welcome in new thoughts, welcome in new feelings, welcome in new opportunities. Again, you guys are the luckiest sign. Reconnect back to that flame, that fire. Mars is literally like doing a lot in your sign right now, so you have a lot of energy to get a lot done, but you have to be productive, stay consistent, and don't dismiss the work that you need to do, because then that's just going to make it a little bit more frustrating down the line. Okay, so that is your reading, Sagittarius. I hope that you got all the messages that you needed. Definitely, if you need an additional reading, don't forget to use the coupon code 2022 for 22% off. All of my services on my website will be down below. I will definitely see you loves in the next video. Have a beautiful day. Bye.